This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Aharon coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, and today I wanted to do a follow-up on the video I did yesterday. All right, answering a brother a comment board question. Okay, regarding the so-called list. All right, that documents and information has been coming out over the years concerning FEMA and what they plan to do to basically a majority of people who they look at as so-called terrorists. All right, and as you're reading, as we read through the article and the documents, okay, basically all those things that's planned to happen will actually happen. Why? Because it's biblical prophecy. Okay, whatever it is that's planned to happen has already been seen, and we're going to read about it right now. Okay, Ezra saw the things that these devils have planned to do. He saw them happening, and he wrote about it. Okay, and that's where we get the idea, okay, of how bad things are really going to be. Okay, in the time of Jacob's trouble, things are going to get really, really bad, a time like never before, because all throughout America's history, it's never experienced what is about to experience. All throughout the world's history, the world is about to experience something that it's never experienced before. Okay, so let's read, continuing 2nd Ezra chapter 16, all right, in verse 69. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and reproach and trodden under foot. Okay, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. All right, so that's very key. Okay, it says they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. All right, so that is the key. Okay, which brings me to the continuation, all right, of what these devils have in store, all right, for basically those that they deem, as domestic terrorists or dissidents. Okay, and that is all something that's all created and fabricated by the CIA. Okay, that's what they're known for. You want to talk about the biggest terrorist group on the planet Earth? You look no further than Washington. All right, it's filled with liars, wicked people. All right, if you're not on a high level in terms of wickedness, you can't function in Washington, man. All right, you can't function in Washington D.C. All right, that place is filled with wickedness at an all-time high, man. Okay, and that's why it breeds, all right, the wickedness that you see around the world, even here in Babylon. Okay, but the biggest terrorist group on the planet Earth, straight up, is the CIA. That's all they do. Okay, they make things up, and I'm going to put a couple of videos, all right, to show you what I'm talking about. You have even ex-CIA agents, all right, who came out and talked about the kind of tactics that these people use, all right, in order to create and fabricate certain things. Okay, all these different wars that you've seen, all right, all these so-called counterterrorism campaigns that they run. Okay, they actually create so-called terrorists, and then have a reason to counter that. Okay, so Lord willing, I'll bring out some information on them. All right, but let's get into this real quick. All right, so last time we were talking about the red and blue list. All right, we're gonna expound on that. All right, and show you the FEMA executive orders as well, which we've done some time ago, but YouTube took them videos and them channels down. All right, so especially in these times, all right, we ought to be refreshing our minds and preparing ourselves for what's coming. Okay, you have the biblical aspect of it, and then you have the secular aspect of it. All right. Either way, it's all fulfilling biblical prophecy. All right. So let's read this real quick. It says red and blue list explanation. It says red list. These people are the enemies of the NWO. Now, when you read 2nd Esdras, bring it back. Okay, it says, verse 70, 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 70 says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Okay, now let's look up the word insurrection. Okay, an insurrection, it says an uprising against civil authority, rising up, okay, to rise up, okay, to upset, all right, to upset, okay, to disturb, all right, and so on and so forth, man. All right, a rebellion, all right, a rebellion against those that fear the Lord, all right. And here we're reading, all right, on the red list, blue list, it says these people, those that fear the Lord, are those who are the enemies of the NWO, because the NWO are the New World, you know what, system, I should say, all right, is the building, all right, what we know today as NWO is actually in the scriptures as the beast system, okay, the beast, okay, and everything that we're seeing now is built into that. But remember, for them to be able to accomplish this system, for it to run, you can't have people speaking the truth. Okay? And who are the biggest truth speakers on the planet Earth? The men of the Lord. Okay, so it makes all the sense in the world that for them to be able to push forward the agenda, they have to come after those men of the Lord. It starts with us. Okay, it all starts with us. Look what's going on around the world right now. All right, nowadays you're starting to hear a lot of terminologies that comes back when you circle all around. All right, you follow and you trace it. It all goes back to the Bible. Okay, and the Bible has been there for thousands of years. How come all of a sudden people are starting to understand it? It's because we're in the last days and the Lord has sent his men to come out here and give you the understanding. All right. And for years, Esau did his best to, deteriorate, all right, the men of the Lord and push us off course. But guess what? The Most High Yahweh Shem Shai is in control of all things. Okay, he's the one who sent us. And that's why the scripture says, only he who letteth will let. Okay, so all the stuff that Esau is doing, all right, is being permitted by Yahweh Shem Shai for a purpose. All right, for a purpose. And ultimately, all right, the purpose is to what? Is to punish the inhabitants of the world. Okay, and then Esau is going to get his punishment for 1,000 years when we get to the kingdom. Okay, but for now, he's going to be used as the Most High's whipping stick. All right, and whipping the Lord is going to do. Okay, it says those people, it says these people are the enemies of the New World System. All right, meaning we speak truth. All right, we're anti-Satanism. We're anti-LGBT, no IQ, AI plus. All right, these confused people, man. Sick ass people, man. All right, we're anti all the madness, the Transformers, okay, the Sodomites. All right, you name it, anything that's wicked, we're against it. Okay, but that's a problem for these devils. It says they are the leaders of patriot groups, outspoken ministers. All right, and when you think of outspoken ministers, it's directly talking about the men of the Lord. Okay, outspoken talk show hosts, community leaders, and even probably NET leaders or net leaders. These people will be dragged out of their homes at 4 a.m. and will be taken to FEMA detention centers and killed. This will take place approximately 2 weeks before martial law is enforced. Now, the dates, Esau likes to switch things around because based on people's reaction, all right, he's able to, maneuver. All right, because there's been a lot of times where they plan to do certain things, but because people are aware of it, they switch it up, or sometimes they do it covertly rather than overtly. All right. So it says now, he says the blue list. All right. So going back to this, the red list. All right. We understand that you're going to be dragged out of your house. Right. And you're going to be killed. Okay. So let's bring that back. 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 70 says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. It says they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Okay, so let's read about the blue list. These are also enemies of the New World System, but are followers of the Red List folks. These people will be rounded up after martial law is in place and will be taken to the detention centers and re-educated. Various mind control techniques will be used on them. All right. Most will not survive this. All right. That's all part of taking them, destroying them, and so on and so forth. All right. Verse 72. Let's bring it back into the scriptures. 2 Esdras 16, verse 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Okay. So let's keep reading some more. It says, these people will be rounded up after martial law is in place and will be taken, all right, cast them out of their houses, taken to the detention centers and re-educated. Various mind control techniques will be used on them. Most will not survive this. Mr. Springmeyer was not specific on exactly who was on the blue list, but I would guess that the people or that people such as you and I are on the list, because we're awakened to the plans of Esau Edom. And what are we doing about it? There's a public outcry, okay, a protest against the wicked ones of this earth. All right. It says yellow list. These are citizens who know nothing about the NWO and don't want to know. They are considered to be no threat at all and will be instructed as to how to behave and will most likely do whatever they are told. Unfortunately, there are too many of these to be effectively controlled, so many will be killed and starved and many will have their organs harvested. Okay? So nobody's going to be safe, man. All right? The Lord said he's going to come after everyone who's not written in the book of life. Scripture says a time like never before. Okay? So that's why we always say, those who have their faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, we're going to be protected, man. There's no doubt in my mind. All right? Hey, we are fully persuaded in our minds that the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, as long as he liveth, the elect are going to be untouched. Okay? Lord willing, we endure till the end so we could see the face of our Savior. Okay? So let's read a little bit of the executive orders, all right, of FEMA, which very soon, believe it or not, will be, all right, a thing. Right now, it sounds like a so-called conspiracy theory, all right, but very soon, these things that we're about to read will become your reality. Okay, it's going to become a reality, man. All right, and all it takes is one so-called national crisis or an emergency. All right, the scale of what they call 9/11. And that's going to change everything. I mean, shit, people are paying for something that's happening out there in what they call Ukraine, because we know that's all propaganda. But look what's going on over there. And how is it affecting those over here? You got people Americans have no idea what the hell is going on. All right. One day it's C-19 scare tactics. The next day it's Russia is invading Ukraine scare tactics. That's all done by the CIA. All right. And they have a track record of doing that. All right. That's why scripture says never trust thine enemy. Okay. Executive orders associated with FEMA that would suspend the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. These executive orders have been on record for nearly 30 years and could be enacted by the stroke of a presidential pen. Executive Order 10990. It says allows the government to take over all modes of transportation and control of highways and seaports. And what have you. Lately, you've been seeing this guy, that sodomite, Pete Buttigieg, all right, that guy. And what is he talking about? He's talking about basically the government is going to start regulating, all right, people's ability, okay, to freely roam throughout the world, throughout the country. They're going to start setting up surveillance cameras on highways. All right. They said to lower people's ability to speed because, cops are not everywhere. Troopers are not everywhere. So people kind of get away with it. They're just coming up with BS reasons. All right. It says Executive Order 1099-5 allows the government to seize and control the communication media. Okay. So if you got AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, whatever, okay, whatever phone service that you have, all right, with one switch, everything is down. Okay, everything is down, and the government is going to be the ones, all right, to control, your television that you're going to be watching, all right, the news that you're going to be listening to, all right. I mean, look, what's going on with they said that was it the U.S. or somebody else, one of these countries, shut down any type of Russia-backed news platforms, news media platforms. Okay, and it says effective immediately. So that's a form of them taking or seizing the control of communication media. Okay, we don't want this information going out. We don't want people seeing this stuff. So we're gonna what? We're gonna shut it down. All right. Executive Order 1099-7, it says allows the government to take over all electrical power, gas, petroleum, fuels, and minerals. Okay. So they're gonna use the military to run people to the ground. All right. And this is what Esdras saw. Okay. He saw all these laws being, these executive orders becoming a thing. He saw people being trampled. Okay. He saw people being grabbed out of their houses at whatever wee hours of the night. Okay. And being taken straight into concentration camps. All right. Some people getting killed on the spot. Okay. He saw all these things, man. And that's why he wrote about it. Okay. This is Executive Order. Executive Order 1099-8. It says allows the government to seize all means of transportation, including personal cars, trucks, and vehicles of any kind, and total control over all highways, seaports, and waterways. Okay. So what does that mean? That's a whole lockdown. Okay. That's a whole lockdown, man. A man shall desire to go into a city and will not be able. Okay. A man would desire to hear the voice, all right, of another man, all right, and he's not going to be able to hear that. Okay. It's going to be what, two of a city, all right, 10 of a city. You know, it's going to be very scarce to see somebody that you know. All right, when all hell breaks loose, man, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to fall by the wayside. All right, that sudden destruction, that first impact, those who panic, they're going to be through quick. All right, and those who stay resilient, you know, because Esau is going to put the squeeze on everyone, man. These famines, these gas prices going up, is all done strategically, all right, to wear the people thin before they come in for the attack. Okay, so you're watching the government, you know, the serpent, all right, coiling around her prey or its prey. Okay, and when the time is right, when they've suffocated you enough, they're going to swallow you. Okay, they're going to swallow you, man. They're going to take away all your rights, everything, with a stroke of a pen. And all it takes is a fabricated a problem, which the CIA is very good at doing. Easy money. That's why they got a lot of people believing that all of a sudden Ukraine and Russia. No. That's all fabrications. Okay. Executive Order 1099-9. All right, says allows the government to take over all food resources and farms. Executive Order 1100. All right, 11,000. It says allows the government to mobilize civilians into work brigades under government supervision. Okay, so that's what a lot of you people who can't pay back your loans. All right, a lot of people who ended up taking these stimulus checks. All right, you had to follow certain procedures, but you know, you got Jake and you got other people who took it and they didn't file no taxes on it. They didn't take out no taxes on it. They're gonna say, look, you got to pay us back, and if you can't pay back, then you're gonna have to work to pay us back. And they'll have you nicely being placed in civilian work brigades. All right, and you're gonna be in FEMA camps too. Okay, it says Executive Order 11001 allows the government to take over all health, education, and welfare functions. So this sounds like the perfect thing to bring this all about will be a nice little cyber attack. Okay, because a cyber attack shuts everything down. And the moment it shuts everything down, what happens? The government steps in place, just like they did with C-19. Everything runs through the federal government. They come out here, they tell you what we're going to be doing today, what's going to be happening tomorrow, what efforts are we doing to bring FEMA. FEMA is going to be in region this, region. You're going to start hearing words like that, regions. Okay? You're going to forget about communities and shit. No, it's going to be regions. All right? FEMA regions. Okay? You're going to be hearing about camps. Rescue plans. That's what you're going to be hearing because they're already putting it out there. And the moment they get their hands on you, you're done. All right, you're done. It says Executive Order 11002 designates the Postmaster General to operate a national registration of all persons. Okay? All persons. So this stage right here, you best believe they're gonna have that MOTB, all right, to play a role in this because they have to have at least a head count. They have to have at least a head count, man. The Postmaster General, all right, to operate a national registration of all persons. It says Executive Order 11003 allows the government to take over all airports and aircraft, including commercial aircraft. Damn. So there'll be no flying. You ain't going nowhere. All right. This is Jacob's trouble. All right. Executive Order 11004 allows the Housing and Finance Authority to relocate communities. You hear that? Relocate. They shall be taken out of their houses. All right. They shall cast them out of their houses. All right. So they're going to be relocated, all right, build new housing with public funds, designate areas to be abandoned, and establish new locations for populations. Oof. Yeah, them regions, all right. Executive Order 11005, it says, allows the government to take over railroads, inland waterways, and public storage facilities, all right. Executive Order 11051 specifies the responsibility of the Office of Emergency Planning and gives authorization to put all executive orders into effect in times of increased international tensions, and economic or financial crisis. You got a double whammy. Let's read that again. Executive Order 11051 says, specifies the responsibility of the Office of Emergency Planning. Okay, FEMA will play a big role in this. Emergency planning, and gives authorization. Right? To put all executive orders. So you've heard Biden signing all these executive orders. Says to put all executive orders into effect in times of increased international tensions. Biden, I heard he just sent, was it 10,000 or 20,000 troops, talking about to protect the NATO part of Ukraine. I said, this nigga here, to protect NATO? What do you mean? How you gonna fly to somebody's border and say, I'm protecting myself from him? What the? These people, man. Lord have mercy. Hey, look, and that's why when your house shot come back, you go, hey, Esau, you're gonna pay. You have a lot to pay for, man. A lot. You don't have that much time, man. You better move quick. All right? You better move quick because the whole world is waking up to your bullshit. All right? People are not buying your storylines no more. And this is why you're going to have to crash everything. All right? You're going to have to take everyone offline because a lot of people are communicating and sending out the truth. People are waking up. All right? People are waking up. And that's the thing Esau fears. All right? The men of sin being revealed. Okay? But it's prophecy. It's already happened. There's nothing you can do about it. We know you're Esau Edom. That alone is enough. All right? The elect had to just know who the hell you are. And the elect found out. The rest of the world going to find out regardless. But who matters to the Lord? To Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is the elect. Okay? It says, and gives authorization to put all executive orders into effect in times of what? Increased international tensions. That's what we're having now. And what? Economic or financial crisis. That is the next thing. We're building up to it. Okay? We're building up to it. And it's not going to stop. You see, though it tarry, wait for it, right? For it will not tarry, it shall surely come. All right, let's get that real quick. Let's get that real quick. All right, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. All right, and verse 2, it says, "And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it." Okay, so that's exactly what we're doing. We're establishing the word and publishing it on the what? On the table, right? Your devices that you view the content, all right, or these lessons, all right, on will be considered the tables, man. All right. Ultimately, you have the planks, all right, and so on and so forth. But in this time, we're talking about in this time, okay, the vision is being made what? Plain upon the table. So you could go on the internet and then you type in, oh, what does this mean? What does that mean? And you get the information. All right. You got people using tablets, It says what? That he may run that readeth it. So you're going what? You're going to run, meaning you're going to get at this information in haste. Okay, like we did. You first hear the word, you gravitate towards it. You leave everything behind. It's almost like you're in a race, literally. You start seeing yourself chasing after that righteousness, the kingdom. Everything you do changes. Okay, your way you think, how you dress, what you eat, the people you hang around with, everything changes, man. All right. It says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie." Okay. Meaning you're not going to be hearing, oh, this is going to happen, this and that, and then nothing comes out of it. No, this time you're going to be seeing it live and in living color. Okay. And a lot of people are not going to like what they see because you're blinded. So when the Lord opens your eyes to what's really going on, you're going to wish you were still blinded. See? But this time you can't go to sleep. The horror. All right. The horror is too much. You can't go to sleep. It says, though it tarry, wait for it because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Okay. And we've waited and we continue to wait. All right. And we're starting to see, all right, those things that the Lord said, when you start seeing these things, know that I'm here. I'm coming. All right. And the Lord's presence is being felt around the whole entire world. Famines, disasters, all kinds of things. These are what we told you were going to happen. Okay. And it's just the beginning of sorrows. So tighten up, buckle up. All right. Buckle up. Let's keep going. It says, Executive Order 11310 grants authority to the Department of Justice to enforce the plans set out in executive orders, all right, to institute industrial support, to establish judicial and legislative liaison, to control all aliens, to operate penal and correctional institutions, and to advise and assist the president. So in this, man, they're going to do away with habeas corpus, all right, which is basically doing away with your ability, all right, to what they call a trial, okay, a trial, and that goes into the NDAA Act, okay, the NDAA Act that Obama, all right, signed in back in, I believe, 2012. It goes into that, all right. That is what the detention, all right, of people indefinitely, man. All right, the military, all right, can pick up, indefinitely, can pick you up and indefinitely prison you, all right, captured, wherever you may be at throughout the whole entire world. All right. So everything is, lining up perfectly. All right. And we're starting to see what the Lord is really going to do to this place. Okay, these prophecies are starting to formulate nicely, man. You could see it, like you could really, really see it. Okay, some of it we're living in it, but see, it's only going to intensify, like we're saying. Okay, so they're gonna have control over, the jail system and all that stuff. Really, the FEMA camps, because people go the FEMA camps, these Walmarts and Sam's Clubs and all these different buildings, these structures are going to be changed into prisons. Okay. It says Executive Order 11049 assigns emergency preparedness function to federal departments and agencies, consolidating 21 operative executive orders issued over a 15-year period. Damn. So all those things all at once. So they've been prepping. They've been prepping, man. They've been prepping for the time Jake is going to wake up and rise up and raise hell in this place. They've been prepping for that. Okay? Executive Order 11921. Because these devils know the prophecies, man. They know the prophecies. They know, right, that the men of the Lord going to have spiritual power. Okay? So they set everything up, man. They know Jake is, at some point, they're going to wake up and know who the hell the enemy is. All right? And guess what? Guess what Jake is going to do? Them who don't understand the prophecies, guess what they're going to do? They're going to start bucking up. They're going to go hardcore against Esau's system. You're starting to hear it now. You got a lot of Jake waking up and asking questions. How come this is happening and we not getting this? How come it's always us that's going through this? Jake is asking those questions that makes you wonder, how come this? How come that? Well, is this ever written anywhere else? Can we find why you people are going through this right now? Maybe how about the Bible? Right? And Jake is going back to the scriptures and reading it, and they're like, yo, this is us. This is us. You see? And the more you hear, oh, that's us, or we the people, or oh, we're the Hebrews, or we're the Jews, or whatever. You know, you got celebrities saying it. You got movie personnel, people, you know, actors, you know, pushing that. All right. These celebrities, they know. All these people know. They have to know the truth. Okay, because they're all part of the plan of demonizing and of course, you know, deceiving Jake. You know, people in the entertainment industry, they were created to deceive people. That's it. You know, so whether they're in a movie or in a song or whatever it is, they're there and set up by these devils. All right, paid off to deceive Jake. But even them, they know the truth. They know who we are. See, and this truth has become so overwhelming. All right, that Jake is automatically going to gravitate towards it. Okay? Look at what's going on in these churches, man. Everyone is leaving these churches. Because what? The truth is finally out and people are gravitating towards it. Okay? But that also shows you that we're close to the end and the Lord is about to take away his word because now everyone is starting to look for it. Lately, you've been hearing a lot of people getting into that spirit of, yo, I got a Bible. Yo, I'm getting into the Bible. I'm a Christian. I'm going to church. I'm doing this. Yo, we in the end times, man. Yo, the Bible talks about this. You're hearing this a lot. You know? So that shows us that what? Jake is finally, you know, waking up, man. All right. And the whole world is waking up. You know, who we are as the Israelites. You got heathens saying it. That God's chosen people, you know, the so-called black people of this country, this is why we're going to go through hell and all this, because the Bible talks about it. Like, you hear that all the time, you know, a lot more frequently now, you know, Bible references all over the place, right? The word. It says, Executive Order 11921. It says, allows the Federal Emergency Preparedness Agency to develop plans to establish control over the mechanisms of production and distribution. Your way of eating, drinking, whatever is going to be through them. All right. Of energy sources, your electricity, your water, you name it, your wages, what you make, salaries, credit, and the flow of money in the U.S., financial institution, and any undefined national emergency. Damn. Your money, everything, man. It also provides that when a state of emergency is declared by the president, Congress cannot review the action for 6 months. Ooh, why 6? That's quite a long time for them to be wilding out on you. I wonder why, you know, it kind of makes sense why when the C-19 happened, all these executive orders will go for about 6 months before the Supreme Court would be like, oh, that's unconstitutional. You'd be like, why did it take them so long? Because it was an executive order. We've seen it right here. Right? It also provides that when a state of emergency is declared by the president, which we are in a state of emergency, Congress cannot review the action for 6 months. So that's the catch. That's why Biden just signed in that national emergency thing. He just extended it. That way he could keep on signing them executive orders for at least 6 months. And Congress cannot what? Review the action. Right? So let's see. It says well, we're seeing it now. This Ukraine stuff. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has broad powers in every aspect of the nation. General Frank Salzito, chief of FEMA's Civil Security Division, stated in a 1983 conference that he saw FEMA's role as a, quote, new frontier in the protection of individual and governmental leaders from assassination and of civil and military installations from sabotage and or attack, as well as prevention of dissident groups. So FEMA gonna be FEMA troops. Dissident groups from gaining access to U.S. opinion, meaning what? Having influence on the people. U.S. opinion is public opinion. Okay? So dissident groups from gaining access to the U.S. opinion or a global audience in times of crisis. You hear that? So in times of crisis, the men of the Lord who are going to be speaking the truth, they don't want us anywhere around here because we're going to sabotage their plans. We're going to expose them with this truth, with the scriptures, with the prophecies. Okay? It says FEMA's powers were consolidated by President Carter to incorporate the National Security Act of 1947. So that's, Lord willing, I'm going to go into that as well. We see what that's about because we're all tying in the dots now. All these things are finally, making sense. You're starting to see the picture, getting clearer and clearer because you're going back and tracing what had happened years ago. And you're like, oh, okay. So that's why. Okay. All right. See, it says, which the National Security Act of 1947 allows for the strategic relocation of industries, services, government, and other essential economic activities, and to rationalize the requirements for manpower, resources, and production facilities. Wow. 1950 Defense Production Act gives the president sweeping powers over all aspects of the economy. Oh. And see, most people don't even know these things. People don't even know these things exist, man. But yet, they're going around listening to every damn thing and being so damn distracted. This is what your government is planning to do against you. And now look, nowadays they got they updated YouTube, and now they got transcripts. I seen a brother do a video today, and I was like, oh, here we go. Right? Why do you think they have that, man? They put it like, oh, you can follow along with transcript. Nigga, nobody goes on YouTube to read closed captionings, bro. You're listening to the video or you're watching it. Ain't nobody reading no closed caption unless, it's in a different language for you. But for the most part, whatever audience it is, like, come on. So they did that on purpose for who? The men of the Lord. They'll be able to track every word we say, and there's also testing their systems too. Their technology, their beast technology. So once they put that system out there, whenever you're online, it can detect, like online policing. It's going to detect everything everyone's saying because it's recording everything, highlighting words, and they could use it against you. Oh, on this day you said this and that. We deem that to be a this and that. That's how they trying to plan this thing out. We came to your house and we found out that you were talking about this with this person on this day about this. What's that all about? You plan to go on vacation anytime soon? Oh, okay, all right. Well, that's not going to be happening. And you're going to be wondering how, because they listen to everything. Okay? It says Act of August 29th, 1916 authorizes the Secretary of the Army in time of war to take possession of any transportation system for transporting troops, material, or any other purpose related to the emergency. So that's how they're going to be transporting people. All right? Lord have mercy. You see, now it makes sense why the past 3-4 years they've been, fixing these roads, doing all these roads, making them all nice, these highways, man. Cause they about to use them. Really, highways were created for the transportation of troops anyway. That's why they were created, so they could get places quicker. All these interstates and so on and so forth. So they're gonna be using them. All right, it says, International Emergency Economic Powers Act enables the president to seize the property of a foreign country or national. These powers were transferred to FEMA in a sweeping consolidation in 1979. Okay, so they started moving very quick. You notice is a lot of these things were being signed in, 1970s, the 60s, the 70s. It's recent because they knew the prophecies, man. They knew that they were close, so they had to start kicking things into gear. All right, and now we're starting to see, all right, the end of their plans. All right, we're starting to see it all. Okay, we're starting to see it all, but hey, guess what? They ought to move this, and they ought to move quickly. All right, very quickly, like Trump says. Quickly. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. It says, Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Okay, and why are we rejoicing? Because this is the end. We're seeing the prophecies coming to pass. So we on earth, we gotta rejoice. Nowadays the spirit has it where, hey, me personally, sometimes it just hit me, man. I can't stop thinking about it. The kingdom. Like I just imagine all the things, like, damn, like, yo, imagine having a whole planet. Like, you just like, wow, a whole planet, man. That's just like, wow. And you just describing it like, oh yeah, that's one of my houses, like you just talk about it like it's nothing. And imagine these heathens, like they just like, oh my goodness, like, wow, you heard about that? Yo, them Israelites, man. Yo, they took this thing to a whole nother level. This man said he going to a different mansion, a planet. Wow. He said, yo, this right here is from the planet of this brother here. Oh my goodness, look at those. Wow. Man, brother, that's that. Wow, brother. Everyone is going to be at their peak, perfected. Women going to look like, oh man. Because remember, now you got, women look really good now. Some of them are all messed up, but for the most part, you'd be like, yo, damn, what's up? But those are even in their worst estate right now. Everyone is in their worst estate. So imagine the kingdom where everybody's in their best estate. Boy, look at here. It's going to be crazy, man. So we think about the kingdom. We rejoice, right? It says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. All right. Why the woe? Because ultimately this woe, all right, is really talking about the troubles that's coming on this earth. All right. For the inhabitants of this earth. And one of those ultimate woes is going to be World War III when the missiles drop, because it's going to hit the earth. It's going to hit the sea. Okay. What scripture is that? It says, hurt not the earth and the sea until the servants of the Lord be sealed. Okay. So that woe, that destruction that's coming, ultimately the missiles that drop, it's going to be hitting different parts of the earth, but ultimately America, Babylon the Great, will cease to exist, as is written in Revelation, the 18th chapter. Okay. So it says what? For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right. So all these things that's coming, the intolerable anguish, all right, that people are starting to feel, okay, is only going to intensify. All right. And that's all the doings of the devil, Esau, Edom. All right. If you want to put it in modern day terms, look no further than, those who are behind the agenda of the World Economic Forum. Okay. And those are being controlled, obviously, all right, by the higher ups, the Rothschild family, the Rockefellers. Okay. All these top devils, man. Okay. For the devil, them devils, all right, has come down onto you. Onto who? The inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. The animals are suffering. They testing bombs. They're dropping, bombs in the ocean. It's just, man, having great wrath. Okay. And that's what we just read. The executive orders and the red blue lists. These are all part of things that Esau's planning to do, having great wrath. Okay. Because he knoweth that he had what? But a short time. Okay. His time to rule is but for a short moment. And, as the wicked does in prime fashion, they have to execute, who they are. They have to fulfill who they are, which is the wicked. All right, the son of perdition, the son of destruction. So at his peak, his thing is he needs to destroy. That's his thing. That's his MO. That's his very nature. So he's gonna have to do it and do it quickly. Try to destroy the whole entire world, the inhabitants of it, everywhere. All right, and then set up his own system. All right, where he just gets to live, happily ever after. Oh, Esau. So yeah, he's gonna get his reality check. All right, he's gonna get his reality check. All right. So I'm gonna leave it off there. Lord willing, you've been edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash, the water Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Until next time, Shalom.